Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of what would happen to a society that didn't have to work. Well, it would be extremely lazy. Just kidding. The thing is that we always have to work in some way or another. There's no Garden of Eden that exists, except if we decide that working is Garden of Eden and doing things is Garden of Eden. But there's always going to be some form of work that's going to have to be placed and put into place, no matter how you live, how you decide to be, how you decide that your life can be. Even if you say you don't like money and you want to live in the forest, well, at some point or another, you're going to have to get some food somehow, so that's still work, and you're going to have to get some shelter, otherwise it's going to rain on you or it's going to be too cold. So there's always some form of amount of work that needs to be done. And that's kind of the way that it is. And now, of course, when you say a society that doesn't need to work, we're thinking about an allotted universal income. Would people be working, or would they just be lazy at home? Well, I think it would come back to this. I think the people that feel like doing things would still do things. The people that want to get better stuff than what the allotted universal income would give, they would still work. And the lazy people that are still not working in our society would still not work. It's just that at least they wouldn't, and they might even be still in the street because they might have vices such as drug addiction, or they might have just gambling habits, or they're just not able to handle money, stuff like that. So that's the difficult thing about predicting this kind of future. I think that a lot of people would actually work because they would want to do things. Everybody has different desires and different things that they like to do or that they would be willing to do. And I'm pretty sure that specialty jobs, such as accounting or very technical things that engineers would need to do and all that, would obviously have still a high demand and would still give good salaries because, well, we need these infrastructures, and it doesn't mean that some people just like it. Some people just like to be working, and some people like to be part of something, and it doesn't mean that because you would be given a universal income that you wouldn't be able to actually make money or be able to survive happily that way, because people still like to have Ferraris, people still like to have big cars, people even just like to have the latest gaming consoles and stuff like that, or the latest clothes and stuff like similar things that take extra money, and they like to travel and they like to go out and eat. So it would just leave a little bit more of that breathing time, but it doesn't mean that we wouldn't have taxes anymore. Taxes are just part of how the society, our society, is actually made and meant to be. If it's just the way that the structure of those big cities are made of. We always have a choice. The thing is that we feel trapped sometimes and say, oh, this and this and that. But if you really want to live out in the outskirts of the world, there are ways of doing things, of getting very cheap properties in some remote areas and really going 100% off grid. There are ways of doing this. The world is big enough. But the truth is I think that a lot of people, they like the comfort of the city, but then sometimes people don't want to put in so much work into the things that will basically let them have that comfort in the city. But if we have more AI happening, and if we have more intelligent and smart things, maybe in some way it would be nice that the richer companies would get that higher tax bracket, and it would come back to really making society better by having universal incomes and all these things, where it would be a sort of like a a circle, ideally. But at the same time, then we would also have to have less people are trying to line their pockets with cash, because there's always the greed of humanity. Unfortunately, humans are greedy in some way, and it's not always simple for people to accept what they have, or even realize that they are very lucky compared to whomever was living 100 years ago. Yeah, we're very lucky. We're in a good society, and we just sometimes take things for granted, and it takes very little, usually health-wise, that happen, and then you're like, wow, I did waste time. I was lucky, and I did a lot of silly things. But that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.